Greetings, Shelpers. Thank you for joining me for Brotato's DLC. It was about $5 and husband and I decided to indulge finally because I've been waiting a long time for it. I told myself I was going to wait until I had beaten the stage 5, danger 5, and no, we're never doing that, Shelpers. You know me. Okay, so we have new people on deck. I don't know if they're the ones on the bottom here or what. I don't know, or if they're all locked behind whatever. Usually I only play the base potato, so we're gonna try that. I don't know what to do with my life. Hang on, run options. Let's do Abyss, because I think that's the new one. So we're gonna try the Abyss with the well-rounded. I know, not exciting, but hey, look, a new weapon already. So this one is the loot. We've never had that before. Let's try it. Okay, we're gonna go danger 0 because I don't know what I'm gonna face. I think this is the Abyss. They look like new enemies. Yes, they certainly do. And this is the new course, I believe, because the new enemies. So all I gotta do is run around. I wanted to do this video and put it up either Tuesday night or Wednesday night because, in all honesty, I'm hoping that, oh, we can max that out. We should do that, or, you know, increase it. I don't like melee weapons, but since it's new, we're gonna give it a shot. Okay, so I didn't want to have like 3 South of Midnight videos for people in a row. I know I might be like overthinking that. I know some people might not care or even like that I would have that, but oh, there's a different type of bush here. I guess that's their life bush, or I got something else that I didn't realize. We'll find out later. Ah. Well, I made it through another night. Got 2 levels, that's not bad. Oh, I picked ranged. Oh, well, I'm getting a ranged weapon now. I don't see any new items so far. I'm not going to combine the shredders yet. It doesn't make sense. So when I was doing my research for submissions yesterday, I actually found quite a few new places for magazines. And one of the reasons is, and I found this out recently, during the Panini and Beyond, a lot more people started up literary magazines as a labor of love, but also Lit Hub, I think it's called, had an article about submission fees today. And submission fees are a very contested, hotly debated item in the sphere of writers because people think that they shouldn't have to, you know, submit and pay because your work is your payment. I'm one of those writers. I cannot afford $3 minimum every single time I want to submit somewhere and then get a no, just a form rejection. Now, if they are doing a contest, that might be different. If they are offering like optional donations or expedited responses or feedback, because most of the time all you hear is a no, you don't hear why your work is a no. Those things are different, right? And that's kind of what the guy who wrote the article on Lit Hub today said as well. So we're kind of on the same mind as all this. However, they said that this is kind of the exception now, not the rule. I better get rid of my other loot. Wait, I fucked up. Okay, never mind. Or we're just gonna ignore it. Just ignore what I did. I didn't need to get rid of that weapon slot, but okay. And like I said, this is level 0. I'm used to danger 5, so I'm hoping that I can withstand. I have the withstandinator. And I can just make it through just fine. But yeah, it's now the rule, not the exception. And the higher up you go in tier lists, the more chance you're gonna have to pay a submission fee. Like the top 10 or whatever, half of them have fees now. And it's just gonna get worse and worse. And it used to be $3 and now it's $5. That's starting to become more the normal. And part of the reason this is because of submittable. because when Submittable took over, Submittable is a platform where you can put your opportunity on the site and get submissions through that instead of like email or whatever. There are other submission systems, Duotrope, which is like a place for finding new opportunities that you have to pay $5 a month. They have one called Duosoma. There is Moshka, which a lot of the like sci-fi, fantasy, and horror magazines use. There is Green Submissions. There are a lot of different ones, okay? So, looking at all that, you don't actually have to use it, but also, there is this thing where if you are one of like 3,000 literary magazines, how are you gonna get money? You should really be trying to, you know, get money through subscriptions and Patreon and all the other fun stuff, but they don't. So, who has the most to gain from a Lit Mag continuing? The people seeking... hang on, Penguin actually might be... This actually might be a new item. I'm gonna take it. +1 HP regen, +1 until the end of the wave. We're gonna do that. I hope that doesn't fuck me somehow. I mean, I have a penguin who likes to do that, but that's for a different purpose. Okay, so we're back in the saddle again, but the Lit Hub article also talks about international writers, and that's something that, shamedly, I don't pay too much attention to, but like if you're an Indian writer, like from India, you will have the possibility where like $3 in USD is way different for you than it is for somebody from America, somebody from like Great Britain. And the conversion rates can really hamper not just like poor American writers, but like writers from like Africa or other such like places. And I know Africa has different conversion rates based on the different countries, granted, but you get what I'm saying. I know you're all smart. So I want a shotgun just because I tend to like them a lot. We're gonna do a minus attack speed. Okay, there we go. Oh wait, I think there was another new item. Shit, I should have picked it up. But anyway, it just becomes untenable for a lot of people. And I don't go to places that charge a mandatory fee because I can't. Okay, so say my poems get picked up. Some haven't gotten picked up in years, some have gotten picked up like right away. But let's just say it takes me an average of 7 times before a poem is picked up, if it gets picked up. Okay, that's 7 times 3. That's 21 bucks for me to get a poem accepted. Most of the time, those places do not pay me. Do not pay anything for my bills, nothing. So, as Wilford Brimley said in a famous YouTube poop... Oh, never mind. Anyway, I wasn't gonna do the best rugs you got, but you really are kind of an odd man out with that. Okay, baby with a beard. Okay, 1 bullet. -1. Oh, there's a cursed object now. I don't know what curses do, but that's new for the DLC. And hiking pole is new. I don't know what the curses do. Do I want to know? How do I figure that out? I started with 1 curse. Sure, we're gonna do it. I mean, it's new. We have to see what it is, right? Right? Okay, let's go. So, looking at it all, it's just really fucky, the whole situation, but going back to when I was looking for literary magazines, so many are popping up now, and it's true. To the point where there are new opportunities every day. Some are a little more sketch and whatever, but even the new ones that are not tried and true, they're not non-profit, they're not anything, they end up giving like a lot of like bullshit as to why they need your money. So that would be like if I went for a job to be a plumber in somebody's house and they're like, yeah, did you apply to be my plumber? And you can get the job. And I'm like, sure. And then they're like, okay, well, there are 89,000 plumbers also, and you have to pay me because if you want to be my plumber at all, like, you have to pay me like $10 just to see if you can be my plumber eventually. And I'm like, hang on a minute there, buddy. And he's like, no, you hang on. It's the privilege of being my plumber that you're applying for. And yes, that's kind of what they say, is that it's the privilege of them looking at your stuff. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I am definitely taking this. I know it's like less range and whatnot, but that'll be fine. Okay, let me just undo the taser. Let's take this. But one of the magazines I saw recently actually had... Okay, so they tried to weed out the chaff, and one of the things they claim is that a submission will be more potent and important to the magazine than letting somebody like carpet bomb you with the same submission they send 80 million people. Meaning, if somebody's just gonna send something totally inappropriate for the magazine, they're gonna have to spend money to do it, so they won't. Like, you have to be a little more careful with what you do since you're paying for it, which isn't true. Assholes with money are gonna spend money on things they don't need, but it keeps people away. But one of the things they do besides the money thing, getting off the submission fees, I know it's been a while since I talked and or bitched about them, is they will actually use language that is very opaque. It is intelligentsia to an inane degree. They want something from you, but they only want it from the people they deem worthy of their time. So they will actually purposefully start using very big words and really like esoteric, secretive, like 80 million fucking syllables. And now I am not a slouch in the vocabulary department. You could think that's debatable because of how I speak on stream, as I do not usually put forth my entire chest into what I'm saying, but that's because I'm just fucking around and hanging out and just playing with you. But the thing is, if I am having trouble getting through a paragraph and there are multiple words, for as much as I read, for as good of grasp as I have, reading comprehension is honestly one of my many, many skills. Video game playing is not. But if I'm having trouble to the point where every sentence is a new word I've never heard of, and everything, like, it's almost nonsensical in the way they do put things together, just so they can make these really laboriously verbose sentences with words that are not often used. Yes, you have an amazing lexicon, clap, 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 I guess, but they're trying to intimidate people and give you a feel for what it is. And what it is pretentious twaddle. I was gonna go off in a different direction with that, but okay. So I guess we'll try. I don't know if we should leave it here or if I should try a new one, but yeah, I found it bizarre, and yeah, it was wild. It was wild, Shelpers. And I'm just like, you want people to submit to you? Are you sure? Because it doesn't seem like it. I know they don't want to seem approachable, right? Because being approachable nowadays is a bad word. Everybody wants your best. Everybody wants the creme de la creme. Everybody wants blah, 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 blah. But it's bullshit. It's honestly such fucking stupid ass bullshit. You can still get some very thoughtful, very well put together, as startling imagery, steals the breath from your lungs, whatever you like bullshit you want to put on there. And do you know how many literary magazines are like, we want your best, we want something that wakes us up in the middle of the night and turns us into a hummingbird, we want something that makes us eat ice cream backwards in a swimming pool at 8 a.m. And it's like, okay then, like, what is that? Can you give me an example? Is it in the room with me? Oh, here's another new item. 10% damage against targets above whatever the hell percent health. Yes, I will take that. That sounds intriguing to me, especially for like elites. But yeah, they have such It's garbage. It's honestly garbage. When I ran a magazine, I didn't have any of that fucking stupid ass bullshit in there. Okay, chance for blue aliens to appear, plus 20% movement speed, so it just makes them faster. We'll put a pin in that, Lord. We'll put a pin in that. We'll put a pin in 3 of these. We'll see what happens. I might just be yammering at this point, but I think y'all know where I'm going with it. You're very smart, Shelpers. I just don't understand, in the world we live in, why you would feel the need to extend yourself in such a way that makes you seem more asinine and unapproachable. But then again, I'm one of those people that doesn't believe in the ivory tower of academia touching poetry. I believe poetry is for everyone. I believe poetry can change lives. I believe poetry is helpful. I believe that one of our first ways to remember things and pass things down was poetry, and it's correct. Oral history a lot of times rhymed for a fucking reason. It made it easier to remember. That's why song lyrics are a lot easier to remember, or old-time poetry than new poetry is to remember. Or singer-songwriter for the most part, because singer-songwriter is often not necessarily based on a rhyme scheme, and rhyme schemes do help you. It's kind of like a mnemonic device in a way. So, based on all of that, I just feel like it's kind of pathetic. I think they have to make themselves like feel better, or they have to position themselves like, oh, here we are. Yes, Reginald, get another few thousand poems from the poor masses. Maybe we'll finally get a duke to submit to us. Okay, recovered from consumables. Consumables heal you over 4 seconds instead of instantly. You know what? We're gonna try that. That sounds new. That sounds interesting. We're gonna give that a whirl. But yeah, I hate it. There are a lot of different like university-backed presses and stuff where that is kind of the thing they search for. Is this like aloof, I'm too cool, I'm too smart type of vibe. I don't truck with that. They want to play like they are in the Olympic-sized pool of intellect. And really, they just jumped into the kiddie pool, are used to the reflecting pool, so they're probably pissing their pants. It's just kind of how it is. I've met a lot of people like that. They see themselves as like above it all or whatever. I shouldn't say above it all, I should say above other people. Above it all means that they wouldn't actually give 2 fucks, and they would just want good poetry. There's a lot of good poetry written in the common language that everybody uses, because it's about connections, it's about the comparisons you make, the descriptions you have, stuff like that, more than the word choices that are used just to box people out of that poem. I'm not saying that good poetry can't be rigorous, that it can't be something you need to have a dictionary for on occasion. I'm not saying any of that, but what I am saying is people try to make it seem like they're just better. And I don't know why it's poetry over a lot of other types of writing, but poets really have this whole really gross thing about, oh, we're so above you type of situation. No, honey, no, you're not. And if they want to really play that game, I don't want to get into this, but they act like they should be in Mensa, let's just say. And I've met quite a few people who should be in Mensa, actually be in Mensa. Technically, I could be. Let me just leave it there, but I don't like that. I don't like the fact that people think if they throw their intellectual weight around, blah, 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 blah. And some of the most interesting lit mags out there nowadays, like Taco Bell Quarterly, which is a weird one, I admit, they're doing some really interesting stuff, and it's like, I would prefer someone try to do something different than try to withhold everything from the common man or whatever the hell. It's pathetic. It's like a dick wagging contest when you don't even have a pee-pee. But you just think you have a pee-pee. Because once upon a time, someone told you you had a big one. So there is a thing in literature or writing called publish or perish, and it's usually when professors have a deadline to meet, because when you're a professor, you're supposed to keep publishing things. If you're like a creative writing professor, like let's say I taught creative writing and my book 1001 Ways to Have an Orgasm on a Plain Toilet Seat was the reason I got picked up for like tenure or a good position in my university. Well, they're gonna want me to make other such books and publish them quickly, and not publish them myself, but publish them with good presses or stuff like that, or good editors, all those kind of things. So the publish or perish mindset often leads to a lot of professors plagiarizing. Okay? Because professors are under this extreme stress of extreme deadlines, and yeah, some professors are dicks and shouldn't be in academia because of how they view certain things, including people who need accommodations. I've had quite a few professors in my time when I went to school 8 million years ago that really did not like the fact that I got double time on exams and whatnot, and it's because I fucking write slower than shit, partially. And if you're making me do shit by hand, there's no way I'm writing like 18 paragraphs in fucking 40 minutes. There's no way on any earth, any at all, that I'm doing that I'm managing that. So good luck. But they also have like a lot of other things going on, but they're also under a lot of stress. It's not easy taking care of like how many ever kids and how many ever people's, you know, essays and whatnot. And now there is like AI that teachers kind of have to go through and be like, okay, is this AI? Is that AI? AI, old McDonald had a computer, fuck me running. So there is a saying that goes along with the publish or perish, and it's not just for professors, and it's you're only as good as your next book. So with the heck going on, a lot of people do go into plagiarism. And there are a lot of literary magazines and stuff, though literary magazines aren't really counted in the whole publish or perish. It will put you off a little bit to publish, say, in a top tier magazine. Like if you got published in the New Yorker, that would be a big enough feather, I would say, to keep you going for like another year at your university. But with AI and everything going on, it's easier than ever to plagiarize and whatnot. And I have this whole big theory, Shelpers, about AI and copyright, because for those of you who don't know, the Copyright Office, the head of the Copyright Office was terminated by the administration. And it came recently after the head of the Copyright Office said, yo, it's still not acceptable to claim AI generated work as work that is protected. So you can't protect through copyright work from AI. And all of a sudden, that person who said that is gone, which is really weird until you look at what it does for Elon Musk or anybody else who trains AI. Because the reason they want this, partially, I feel, now this is my alleged conspiracy, whatever, they want companies to be able to get away with copywriting stuff made with AI, like stuff in their commercials and whatnot, and they want it to be legal and fine to train AI systems on a bunch of different work, like LibGen. Okay, so Zuckerberg, I think it is, yes, Zuckerberg was going through a court case because they trained Meta's AI on a piracy site called LibGen. So anything that was on LibGen was something they used to train the critter, the AI thing, the AI module. And it was on purpose. They baked it in. How? Easy. You say to yourself, okay, it's going to take me, let's say, 5 years and $700 million to actually get everything up and running. Okay, so 7 years to train my AI the way I want, $700 million to get the texts or the posts or whatever, or all the aggregate data to do this. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to steal a bunch of stuff from an already stolen place, and I'm going to get sued, but I will be able to train my AI pony that I've been desperately wanting to run in this AI race. I'm going to train it in 6 months instead of 7 years. And it's going to take me only $200 million to shut up the writers. And I think that's kind of what happened. They actually looked at it and said, hey, it's going to be more cost effective and time effective if we just steal. And I think the head of the Copyright Office being like, no. I think Trump is in bed, or the administration, let's say, maybe not Trump, maybe Trump, is in bed with so many people like Bezos, like Zuckerberg, that really want AI to succeed and to be able to use AI to be copyrighted work, because so many people want to have written but not be writers, do the act of writing and editing and getting everything good to actually put into a book, that they want their people to be able to be like, you know what, hey, let's just make sure that we get people in there that actually want AI work to be copyrighted, so that our users can copyright shit, we can copyright the shit we use, and we can use a whole bunch of texts for our AI training without having to worry about it. Like, let's just get that out of the way. I could be wrong, but I just think it's fishy. But at the same time, they did get rid of the head of the Library of Congress, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just another one of those cutaways. Okay, so that is the DLC. I'm sure I haven't showed you barely anything on it, but it's a start. Thank you so much for watching. I'll probably put that this is about writing mostly in the description, and I will see you on Thursday night for South of Midnight. Bye!